to another episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and TV and movies and life and other general chatty things that I want to share with you. Thank you so very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, get out your yarn, your hook, your needles, your embroidery, whatever it is, and let's enjoy a lovely visit together. So, yes, today is the 22nd of March, another Monday, and we're officially in spring. Saturday the 20th was the Spring Equinox, and also the Sunday before was the beginning in the United States of daylight savings time. So the time has shifted and the daylight hours are even further ahead. So more sunshine is a good thing, although not every day has been a sunny day, but it definitely has been pretty mild weather, although with some rain and clouds, which we need the rain. There wouldn't be any green without the rain, and so I don't mind the clouds. But yeah, and some of the spring flowers are starting to come out. I saw some daffodils and I was able to get a photo. And daffodils are just like such a happy flower. They really, really are. And I love the spring crocuses and the tulips too. I love all those like early spring flowers. Anyway, enough about that. I hope that you are doing well, and I also just quickly wanted to say, I haven't been, deep diving into the news, but I have been catching, updates regularly and trying to stay, generally informed. But yeah, there is a lot of discussion going on about hate crimes against Asian Americans in the United States. I don't know about if the hate crimes have risen in other countries around the world against Asian people, but definitely in the United States, it has been a real problem, and that was really came to a head in the most recent incident, not the only incident by far, but the most recent shooting, and yeah, it's just, it makes me really sad, and there are still a lot of people who want to say, like even the sheriff during a press conference would say, oh, the shooter had a bad day. No, you don't get to excuse killing 8 people and 6 of them Asian American women and just, get to excuse it and write it off as he was having a really bad day. That is beyond a bad day. And yeah, and I do want to say Um, there are a lot of people talking about it, and it's good. It's good. We need to have these discussions. But specifically, like in the bookish YouTube community, somebody I've been watching, the Booktube goddess, she is the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. Um, and I've been watching that channel for a while and really enjoying it. So I do recommend her bookish content very much, but she just yesterday posted a video titled Stop Asian Hate, and it is really good. I think she just said it so well, and yeah, as a Japanese American, she had personal experiences to add to what she was saying, and it was a really good video. So if that is something you would like to check out, I really recommend it. It was very thoughtful. So, and let's talk about crafts. I have only been working on one project, and that is this little cowl with a little bit of a lace pattern on it in yarn from Lady Dye Yarns in the suffragette colorway. This was her mini kit as the part 2 from the Get Out the Vote election themed kit that I bought last year. And I forgot that there was going to be a part 2 coming later. And so this was a lovely surprise and good timing for me to have something to cast on while I figure out what to do for a larger project. Because I've had to put my sweater on hold for a while to figure out how to get more yarn. And so this has been really great. And I think it's adorable. But this is all the crafting. I think before I firmly choose a bigger project, I think I might need to get my scrap crochet project out to start working on. And especially we're starting spring and heading into summer. I'd like to get some stripes done on that before the weather turns really warm. And I don't want that blanket on my lap. So I might be getting that out soon as well. So I am continuing. We're into reading now. I have continued my NetGalley Advance Reader copy for the one set in the Arctic. It's called Pineapple Kisses in Iqaluit. I'm sorry about the bad pronunciation of the name. That's a city name. It's on Frobisher Bay. But yeah, sorry about my pronunciation. It does have an alternative title because when I found the book on Goodreads, the title is One Night Stand in Iqaluit. And it's, kind of a play on words because it's an Arctic night. So about 6 months of night. So yeah, it is. I would call it a literary general fiction novel set in Arctic Canada. And a French-speaking teacher goes up to the far north, to the farthest north francophone school in Canada, and they do try to fill the gaps in their staff by people coming in on 1-year contracts, because it's not a big city and there isn't a large French-speaking community there. So they have challenges keeping, the staff. So she goes up on a 1-year contract to the north and teaches at the French school. And yeah, and it is, I do like it. I really do. It's not like the most enjoyable as far as fun, but it is very interesting, and it's really, there's the two main characters, the teacher and the local police chief, but it really looks at the community, because she's teaching at the French school, and the francophone community in that area is pretty small. And so and then there's the Caucasian community in the city, and then the Inuit population in the city. And she also does talk about some of the history of some of the Arctic explorers that first came to that part of Canada, and they were looking for the Northwest Passage and the effect that they had on the Inuit culture and the founding of cities like Iqaluit, and the coming of European white people there and living there and living together, in close proximity to the Inuit. And so it's kind of just looking at the Arctic and the different communities in the Arctic and little bits of the Arctic exploration history. And yeah, kind of colonization. I mean, they don't call it colonization, and that word isn't used, but I think that would be an appropriate word when the white people came in to the Arctic Canada, and then it became a part of Canada. And and it also talks about the problems with suicide. There are a lot of suicides that happen during the Arctic night. So there are a lot of topics, and it looks at different communities in the city. And there is also a relationship between the teacher Irina and the policeman Ian, I think is his name. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. I think it might be Ian, but her name is Irina. And I am nearly done. I only have like 7% left, and I could have finished it. I could have, stayed up a little bit longer, because it was, at the end of the day, and I was getting tired and ready for bed, and I'm just like, I think I'd rather finish it later when I'm fresh. I don't need to push myself to stay up. So I didn't. And I didn't finish it this morning. I could have tried, and I just I didn't. I did other things. But anyway, so very, very, very close to finishing. And probably will tonight or tomorrow. I also am about 70% of the way through Spoiler Alert, which is a super fun and entertaining, nerdy genre romance. Spoiler Alert has a little bit of everything. The geeky fun with fanfic and nerdy TV shows, and also, you know, body image and plus size representation, family dynamics, and yeah, it's been really good, and I'm excited to finish the rest of it and see how they make it through all those things. So I did start a new book. I got it from the library and I put it on hold, and it was on the wait list for months and months and months and months. It was a really long wait list. So I've been so excited to read this, and I started it the day that I picked it up from curbside pickup. But here it is. Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I hope that you're not getting a lot of glare, but I'm using the rear facing camera because it's, you know, got better resolution than the front facing, so I cannot see what it is looking like, but I hope that there's no glare. This is a really beautiful cover. The cover art for this book is so beautiful, so I hope that you can see it. But I am 25% of the way through, and this was worth the wait. This was worth the wait, and this book has been hyped all over YouTube, but I think it deserves it. And this is an epic fantasy novel set in like a Mayan, maybe one of the Mesoamerican civilizations, like Aztec or Maya. And so that's not a fantasy mythology in a fantasy setting that you see very often. And so that is really, really fun. And the world building is so strong. The political dynamics, there's a lot of politics going on, and the religion and the politics, and there's pirates. There is a captain of a pirate ship, and she is half siren or mermaid and half human. And one of the threads, this is definitely a multi-point of view story, but one of the threads is she has to take another character who it has been prophesied, and he has been raised to become like the incarnation of one of the old gods from the old religion. And it's supposed to happen on, there's a solstice and an apocalypse together. So it's an eclipse on a solstice, and that is the time it has to happen. And she has to get him to the place for the eclipse, and all these other politics and other things are happening too, and they're all gonna kind of collide. So yeah, I am really liking it a lot, and I like the writing style. It's really, really descriptive and vivid, and the characters are interesting, and they're not simple. They're not just like flat characters. Yeah, I can't wait to get further into it. Yeah. So those are the books, and I haven't been watching TV. I haven't been watching any shows. So I hope that you're doing well. I would love to hear about what your crafting projects are, or what books you're reading. If you want to tell me, please put it down in the comments under the video. I'd love to chat with you about that, and whatever else. Yeah. So I hope that you're doing well, and that all of your family and loved ones are well and safe, and that your creative projects are turning out just the way that you envision them. And talk to you later. Bye-bye.